people would look at my client and say, you have a marketing problem. They'd look at her rates of client acquisition, how many leads she's getting every single day and every month, and they'd clearly conclude, fairly accurately, you're not getting enough leads in. Here is why they're wrong, though. Here is why she does not have a marketing problem. She runs this small business with around 3 employees. She's been through these huge changes, completely restructured her business in the last 3 months, and she's essentially rebuilding that business from the ground up. She's now at this point, which I'm sure you can resonate with if you run a business. I know I certainly do, where just about breaking even is killing her. It's like at the absolute limit. And she's made headway in loads of different areas of business since we've been working together. But this marketing problem and the cash flow problem that is created from that has always been bubbling under the surface. It's always been eating away at her, and it's always been the elephant in the room, this thing that needs to be addressed. But there were just too many other things to work on before that. And I know what it feels like to want to break from the pressure, like she mentioned. She's like, I just need a break from this pressure. I get it. I've been there in business. I know what it's like. And I know what it feels like to be seemingly slaving away at this business, at this growth, but not making headway, not growing in the way you want. It's so unrewarding when you look at those stats at the end of the month or even each week, when you're longing for those leads to come in and nothing is coming in. But here's why this isn't a marketing problem. Because when you actually ask her what she's doing to generate these leads towards her marketing efforts, she lists maybe 15 things. And when you press her, you can see that she's probably not doing a single one of these 15 things intentionally and specifically. She's flitting from tactic to tactic. She's being both inconsistent and wildly ineffective. Really, when you look at it then, the amount of leads that are coming into her business, and right now she is responsible for the marketing too. Right now, the leads that are coming into the business are an output. They're not an input that creates success. They're an output of her behaviors, her attitudes, and ultimately her psychology. I began my process, my system of uncovering what was really holding her back, what was causing this ineffectiveness and inability to choose which thing is actually going to work, and then fully committing to it. And when we really dug into it, she was pulling away from really pushing her marketing because she didn't want to feel salesy. And then I asked her what that meant. We kind of went a few layers deeper because it was more than that. She didn't want to be seen as desperate. She didn't want to be seen as, by the outside world, as someone who's failing. She couldn't stand being seen as someone who needed help. She hated the idea of people seeing her reality, the outside world seeing what was really going on. So she didn't make it look like she needed business. All of this meant she turned away from her own reality herself. The easiest way to hide yourself from your reality was not to face it. And the easiest way for her to hide herself from her own reality was not to address her marketing and not to really commit to one path. So because of this, her consistency failed. Let's put it that way. Her language softened. Her aggression in her goal setting petered out. And she stopped pushing strategies that could work, all in case she got judged by the outside world and therefore herself as someone who could be seen as desperate. And before you get judgmental, we've all hidden the truth because the truth hurts. We've hidden that. We don't want to see it. It's human nature. And I guarantee you are hiding from the truth too. There's something that is covered up. There's something that you don't want to see that another part of you knows is true. And it's probably the thing that could make the biggest difference to the quality of your life. This girl, she thought she had a lead problem. She thought she had a marketing problem. But in reality, she had an ego protection problem. She didn't want her persona that she displays to the world to be threatened. A huge part of mental fitness is getting in touch with that part of you that knows something to be true, that knows an awful truth, but a larger part, or maybe a part of you that's more in control, that you like more, doesn't want to admit. It's saying what you know to be true, but scares the absolute shit out of you. That's how you grow. That's how you unveil your next level. It's listening to your conscience, that voice that says, you know you're doing this wrong. You know you're fucking up. And that's what so many philosophers mean when they're talking about courage. That's what courage really is. It's saying what you know to be true, but scares the shit out of you. And the courage that counts is rarely the kind of courage that's running into a burning room. Because, well, you don't know whether you're going to do that. But the one that actually trains the ability to do that, and the one that will make the biggest difference to your quality of life, your business, and your relationships, is having the courage to own your own shit that you want to hide from. That is what's going to set you free. That is what's going to unlock your next level of performance by saying, this is how I'm fucking things up. This is the big mistake that I'm making, and this is the truth that I'm hiding from.